Now, hot on the heels of Roald Dahl's books facing politically correct censorship comes the news that Enid Blyton's children's books are also to be rewritten. Now, of all the books I read as a kid, it was Blyton's Faraway Tree that I perhaps loved more than anything else. I grew up in a time when TV was about the only electronic media we had, and more often than not in the country where we lived, TV was on the blink, so these books transported me to another world. But not anymore. It seems that the next generation of little readers are being looked after by sensitivity editors who've started to pull the books apart, running their red pen through allegedly offensive or triggering phrases such as shut up, don't be an ass, or don't be an idiot. In Blyton's books, it should be noted the word ass is used to mean donkey. Now, there are two issues here. The first is why we are protecting children from the past just because its standards were sometimes different from ours. I mean, most of the time, I think the standards of the past were actually better. And if you read these books with an eye on manners, for instance, I prefer Blyton's world to today. In any event, if there's problems with a word or phrase, parents can always point out that we don't use that language anymore, and children are more than capable of working that out anyway. Besides, given all they're accessing on their devices, even in primary school, I think Enid Blyton is the least of their problems. But there's a bigger issue here too. It's the mind control inherent in trying to make some things unsayable. If they're unsayable, they're unthinkable. George Orwell was right onto this with his Ministry of Truth in the book 1984. First, there's the rewriting of history, and then comes the manipulation of language so that people are sealed off from part of themselves. It would be a tragedy if large swathes of the Western canon, the best of our literature, were to be withdrawn or rewritten in sanitised language just because the best minds of the past upset the small minds of the present. But that's the way, clearly, we're headed.